honored when Brian asked me to present on his behalf, as I've had the pleasure of working with Brian through my class, BUMA, and now the Entrepreneurs Organization. Brian is an outstanding individual. His business career and entrepreneurial journey started at a very young age. He has built 4 businesses and has spent the last 30 years in the insurance industry. But talking about Brian's accomplishments would take all night, I'm sure. I am set up here to talk to you about something more dear to his heart, his son Paul and his legacy. Paul was a vibrant, talented, and motivated individual. He had a meaningful impact on the lives of everyone around him with his caring personality and smile. At a very young age, Paul also demonstrated an interest in music, as much of his spare time was devoted to learning guitar and piano, improving his vocal skills as well as both composing and publishing music. He spent his time doing the things he loved with the people he loved. Paul entered Brock University in September of 2010 for the accounting co-op program. He quickly immersed himself in student life, getting involved in business clubs, associations, and competitions, and making the best of his university experience instead of going to school just for class. The transition from high school and home to university and the dorm life seemed to something with which Paul had success. In fact, in his give-a-hands-up nature, Paul even assisted many of his fellow students with making the transition. His future was bright and promising, but it was in December of 2010 that something very tragic and unimaginable happened. Paul Hansell took his own life at the young age of 18. I cannot imagine the pain that Brian Hansell felt and feels to this day, but somehow he is moving forward. After the tragic loss of his son, Brian Hansell founded the Paul Hansell Foundation, a foundation driven to influence. Its mission is to promote programs aimed at the mental and emotional well-being of youth, delivered to students and by students, as it was Paul's nature of giving people a hand up that is the underlying spirit of the foundation. No one, not Paul's closest friends or family, could have foreseen Paul making this decision. And what's more shocking is that we live in a society that a young man found it easier to take his own life than to voice his internal struggle. That is why the Paul Hansell Foundation was created. Because the stigma, this paradigm of speaking about one's emotions needs to be changed. Through Brock University, the Paul Hansell Foundation is making this change. Working together, they are able to focus on the overall health of the students and community members through events, advocacy, and student engagement. Mental wellness, physical wellness, emotional wellness, spiritual wellness, lifestyle wellness, and financial wellness are all the topics that are covered. They are integral to a well-balanced and healthy lifestyle during one's journey at Brock, Brent, and University. Being able to work with the Paul Hansell Foundation this year was a changing experience. Having heard Brian's speech last year at this event, I became inspired to do my part in spreading the awareness and getting involved with helping such movement. So I hope I have been able to do Brian and the Paul Hansell Foundation justice in getting their message across. I encourage everyone to stop calling depression and other health issues mental illness, and start calling it mental health. Mental health should be a natural part of everyday conversation. Through education and awareness, we need to break down the barriers and establish a proactive and preventative dialogue that puts mental health on an equal footing with all other forms of health. So please do your part, and as Brian puts it, reach out to someone. They need it, and so do you. So in recognition of the profound impact that Paul had at Brock University, the Accounting Students Association created an award called the Paul Hansell Competition Award, and it is presented each semester to the student that best exemplifies his characteristics. This award this year is presented to Karina Spehar.